everybody, and welcome back to the stream. My name is Mercy. It is a Saturday night here once again. Welcome back to episode 10. Episode 10 for Tethra. Heroes of Tethra. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome.
Howdy, howdy, everybody.
Hola.
Hello.
Hello.
So, just a little bit of fair warning for everybody to get started for tonight. As you can hear, I am extremely congested. I am coughing quite a bit under the weather. Doing the best I can to try to go ahead and do what I can to try to get this game going, because it's a big one. Double digits. I want to make sure that, I'm here to push and try to get this going, because we've missed you over the last month. So I'm going to do the best I can to go ahead and push through, but if I can't, we might have to end session a little bit earlier tonight. I'm going to do the best I can for everybody, though, and for myself, too, because I've been looking forward to this. So let's hang in there, and we'll get through this together. How's that sound? Also, apologies for the coughs and the sniffles for obvious reasons. So, let's go ahead and get started right off the bat. Let's jump right back in to what we've got for the night. So, last time, when we all gathered for Heroes of Tethra, our intrepid adventurers had regathered themselves in the town of Aferit after a battle in a warehouse inside of the town. That warehouse being controlled and operated by Coren Asterfel, the person that they have been on the hunt for after setting out on their journey together. They made new friends with their new accomplice, if we can use that word, in Lena, a small desert fox realized. Quick with her fingers, she is referencing herself as a locksmith, for lack of a different term, and has decided to join on to the group as their locksmith. Let's see.
You don't have to say it quite like that.
After retrieving several bits of armor, coming to understanding of new items and weaponry that the group has, and searching out through the town for answers regarding what all is going on and where they might aim, the group decides to set out towards the town of Gunnar's Pass, which lies in the mountain range that separates the lower portions of the dwarven kingdoms with the upper portion, which houses Dornell, the largest dwarven city in the region. That's pretty much what we had when it comes to our recap. Last session was a lot of roleplay. It was a lot of investigation and figuring out exactly what was going on. And here we go. So, adventures. What would you like to do to start out today?
Can I make some sort of check to fix the holes that were put into my warm clothes while we were in the warehouse?
Are you proficient with weaver's tools or sewing or anything like that specifically?
No.
Okay. It's not impossible, But go ahead and make me a general dexterity check.
Oh, that went so well.
Unfortunately, it's not holding the amount of material that you have to cover up right now. It doesn't seem to really fit the holes, so there's some repair that could definitely be used still, and it looks a little patchy now after your work.
I'm gonna wear it with pride anyway, because I did it myself.
How about the rest of you? What would you like to do?
So, today we make the trip to Gunnar's Pass, is it?
That's where all the signs seem to be pointing to, yeah, so...
Can we have some more bacon before we go?
Please, God, yes.
Some more bacon wouldn't hurt anyone.
Maka does a little dance beside the table until the bacon gets there.
I'll signal for the barmaid or anyone serving.
Yeah, you signal over to the barkeep, and you get his attention, ask him for a plate of bacon, he gives a nod, and about 5 minutes later comes back with a nice heaping plate of bacon.
I'll just take several strips from the plate.
I just go straight in. I'm just going straight in. Just not. It doesn't even meet the table yet. I'm just like full. Like, you know those cat machines you see out in the middle of, like, you know.
Like those coin Neko things that just like swipe it and it disappears.
No, I'm talking about like those cat machines that you see out at like construction sites and stuff that just like fully goes
caterpillar.
in. Yeah, just like grabs it and just a huge heap of bacon. I got the water. This is so good.
Very surprised, the barkeep just kind of,
He really likes bacon.
I can see that. And here? No, it's early in the morning.
I start licking the barkeep's hand because it has like bacon grease on it.
He instinctively pulls it back. I said, no.
Maka, that's rude.
I think I need to sit down. Should I get another for the rest of you?
Bring like 3 plates would probably be the safe bet.
Pretty much clear out my stash, but sure. As long as you've got
Give him
the
some
coin.
shiny rocks.
He just straight up say that? Oh, that's
He calls coins shiny rocks.
Did I hit my head?
No, I'll pull out a gold coin, put it in a
No,
small
it's
where
just the
Maka
dementia
licked,
sitting in.
and I'll put the gold coin where Maka licked. Here,
Oh.
a little bit for your troubles. Sorry about all this.
Oh, it's setting in early for me, I guess. Well, looks at the gold coin in his hand and then just kind of walks back to the kitchen.
We're gonna have to give Maka a new title. Maka's Bane of Bovine, or Bane of Porcines.
Bane of
Barrel.
I don't know what that means, but I really like it.
Maka. Chew and swallow, then speak. I've got a title for him, the Baron of Bacon.
So Bacon has had the barkeep still looks very confused and now concerned for his own well-being. Ends up taking care of everything that you need. And now the day lies out in front of you for you to go ahead and start your journey as you see fit. With a belch.
Oh,
goodness.
delicious.
So, what's the plan? How do you all want to figure out your transport? How do you want to hit the road? What's the idea?
We don't have a cart between any of us.
I can simply run. It does not bother me.
Looking at the map that the barkeep gave us in the last episode,
Mm-hmm.
what looks like it would be the fastest route if we had to walk it to get from here to Gunnar's?
Fastest route walking it would definitely be along the road, and based on pretty standard knowledge and what the map provides, you gather it would take somewhere between 3 to 4 days, probably. It's a very similar distance from
I
straight
could probably
through the
make it in
woods.
2 if I just run.
Yeah, but you want to be around the rest of us because we have bacon and jerky.
I mean, it's 3 to 4 days if we walk it. I mean, we can ask around town, see if anyone has a cart they could rent, maybe. That would be the only other thing I could maybe think of.
Unfortunately, if we were to rent a cart, then we would be liable for the horses.
Horses. Look. I have this thing on my back now. Maybe I would not feel it so much if one of you, looking at Lena, you wanted to ride, but then the other two of you would need to find a ride.
You don't sound like you're exactly comfortable with that arrangement. If you don't want to be ridden, say something. I mean, I got my fair share. I can pay for a horse.
Let's just go see what prices are. Maybe we can buy one. It'll be more convenient in the long run. Simple cart and horse.
I'll, hearing them come up with that, I'll walk up to the barkeep and get his attention one last time.
Oh, yes, you, what can I,
One final thing, and then we'll be out of your hair. Where is your stables located here?
oh, hitting the road then. Stable should be out towards the main entrance, over on the west side of town.
All right, we appreciate it, my good man.
Of course, glad I could help. Anything for the road that I can serve up for all of you? Figure I might as well offer before I can't remember my own recipes.
I'll look
Why-
back to the others. Anything you guys
Why
want?
do you think there's something wrong with your memory?
Dementia runs in the family, and it's a talking wolf dog thing.
And
Oh no,
So-
he talks.
Yeah, that's
no. We
Listen,
all
I
hear
do.
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, my good man. I'm a man of healing, and trust me, your memory's fine. You're not with early onset dementia.
I don't
You're
know
fine.
if I'm more happy at that or
There is
extra
magic
confused.
in the world that can allow beasts like myself to talk.
Oh, magic. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, magic's weird. I don't mess with that. That's for sure. All right. Whew.
So your memory is perfectly safe and intact, my good man.
All right. Well, I was like, I was worried. Yeah. No.
But
I
with
was,
that- You lot, I am going to wait for you outside at the gate for whatever you decide to do, because I am perfectly fine traveling on foot. And I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to the gate and just sit and wait patiently.
sounds good.
I'll look at the others. Either of you two want anything from here before we head out?
I think we're well supplied.
Well, my good man, looks like we're pretty well taken care of at this point. Thanks again.
Of course. Thank you for the business, and stay safe out on those roads. Lots of nasties out in the woods.
Oh God, don't we know it?
Lena just grins, showing her canines.
And I'll turn and start heading out, leading the way towards where we were directed the stables were.
Okay. So the lot of you then head across town over towards the main gate, and sure enough, there's a livery there where you're able to go ahead and find a couple horses that seem to be stabled up, a cart off on the side.
/ ponies?
Let's find.
I'm 4.5 feet tall. A full-size horse. I'm gonna be like a little kid on a big bench.
Let's find out. Is there a pony? Go ahead and get my dice over here. There. Is there a pony? Yes, surprisingly.
Yes.
And so as we're approaching the stables, so are we just looking to get the horses? Do we want to try to get horse and cart? What are we looking at here?
I'd rather have a pony, please. So I'm not like how it is in the tavern, where I look like a small kid with my legs swinging and all that.
Seems to
That
be
is
a
a-
stable hand, just taking care of the horses inside, but mostly it's quiet otherwise.
That is a very good question. I'm more inclined to have a single horse and cart just for the additional storage room. A separate pony for Lena here should be perfectly fine.
So a horse, cart, and pony is what we're looking for then?
I think so. Although I do see the value in having 2 horses for greater maneuverability for the 2 of us.
That's up to you guys.
So I guess it comes down to the question of ultimately what would we prefer, better maneuverability or extra storage space?
My vote's for extra storage space, but I will defer to your judgment.
Let's see what we're looking at price-wise for any of this, and then we can determine from there. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
With that knowledge in hand, I will approach the stable keep.
Oh, hey there. Good morning. You're very blue.
Well, thank you.
What can I do for you, fine blue sir?
Me and my compatriots here are interested in possibly acquiring a horse with a cart and a pony.
Horse with a cart and the pony over there?
Yeah.
You look a little too heavy or big to ride the pony, but it's
The
pony's
pony's
for me.
all right.
I'll point.
That will make a little
I'll
bit
raise
more
my
sense.
hand so he can at least see my hand.
All right, yeah, no, that makes a bit more sense. All right, yeah, you looking to rent? You looking to purchase? Going out of town, I assume.
I'll look at drain. Were we looking to buy or rent? I forgot about that part.
I prefer to buy. But depending on the price, renting might be the better solution. So, what are the prices?
Well, times are a little rough here. We gotta make ends meet with what we got. So if you're looking for a horse, one horse is gonna be looking to run you about 40 gold coins. Add a cart onto that, you're looking probably about another 10 gold coins on that one. And then for the pony, that's a special one. She's been here for a little bit, and she's about 45 gold coins, that one. So
And these are the options to buy.
those are the options to buy, yeah. And then, of course, you're going to need your saddle to get you going with that. If you need any additional packs going on with anything like that, it's going to be a couple extra gold pieces. So, like full kit and caboodle, you're kind of looking at about 110 gold coins to get you all set up with everything.
I mean, I know between us we could probably swing it, but that'll probably cut pretty deep into the funds we do have.
But this might be a worthwhile purchase in the long run.
I mean, it's
how
up
much
to you.
total again?
About 110 gold coins get you completely set up. We can get you some feed for a couple days to get you through going there. Saddles for both the pony and the horse, and all of the necessary bit and bridle getting you going to set up everything to hook you up with the dragon to the cart and everything too. And of course the cart.
If we were to split that 3 ways, it'd be just a little over 36 gold for all 3 of us.
Which I can afford.
I mean, normally I try to haggle, but these people are going through some shit.
Yeah, they really are.
And that's already discounted. Like I said, 40 gold is what I can part with for the horse over here. Normally we end up charging 50, 55 depending on the health and everything of the horse. So we're already giving you a bit of a discount best I can.
Oh no, I'm not saying you should. Trust me. I know what it's like to go without.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm just kind of giving you the general, honest talk,
Appreciated. I have no problem paying what the man's asking.
I don't either.
Then we're in accord.
That works for me then.
Okay. I take 36 coins out of my pocket.
As do I.
I will as well.
Okay. gathering up the funds and setting it up. Well, it was mighty kind of y'all to help us out here. That's going to take care of quite a lot when it comes to keeping food on the table for the missus and me and the kids. So it's very appreciated. Now, have any of y'all ever handled a horse before?
I dealt with some pretty stubborn desert creatures.
Oh, all right. That's
I rode some back in my younger days, but God, that was years ago at this point.
Not in the least.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and give you a basic rundown so you know what you're looking at, and you can handle the beasts here and not get yourself into too much trouble. So he goes ahead and he spends some time with y'all, about an hour or so, going through with the standard kind of animal handling of this horse and pony, specifically the things to look out for and how to navigate, and then spends another hour afterward setting up the connection for the cart to the horse and showing you how to set all of that up as well. So there's 2 hours there where Maka is sitting over at the front gate. Maka, what are you doing?
More than likely, I'm probably for the first. Let's say for the first like half hour, I'm probably just making the guards nervous by being a big dark wolf in armor, just sitting there, being the talk of the guards, being like, "What is this armored beast doing here? Why is it here? Who does it belong to?"
He came in from the town, right? Yeah, no, he came in before. Like, I already passed by us, but he came out from the town, so he's here, and he's not doing anything. He's just kind of sitting there. And, like, they go back and forth chatting about you, trying to wonder, and, one of them steps ever so slightly closer to you every so often, trying to see how close he can get without spooking you, kind of idea. He's not stealthy about it at all. He's very poorly doing it, but
I turn to him and I give him that stupid dog look. You know, that stupid, like, half grin, panting look.
Oh, that's the response from both of them. Oh, and then they just relax a bit and kind of watch you, but not wondering as much as it is now. Just like, oh, he's kind of cool. He's chill, you know, and then just let you be.
Okay. Then for the next hour and a half, it's mostly just going to be like occasional yawning, like just maybe getting in the shade if there's shade around, to keep cool. And even though it's already kind of cold because we're closer to the mountains, but I guess in a way, just mostly like looking toward where we're supposed to be going into the mountains, knowing we're going to the mountains is just sort of kind of taking this time to contemplate and internally process that this is the place, like where we're going is the place where Maka became a direwolf.
Okay. So the rest of you get the horse and the pony set up, the cart attached to the horse, feed loaded up into the cart. And you go ahead.
Before we go, I would like to give him a 5 gold tip for spending time with us.
Oh, that's mighty kind of you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, little miss.
Take good care of them kids, yeah?
I'll do everything I can, that's for sure. Alright, now, safe travels out there. A lot of nasties out in them woods.
Absolutely.
Alright.
So the three of you get yourselves set up on the cart, get yourselves moving, and you head over to the front gate where Amaka lies in wait under a tree.
As we roll up, I just let out a sharp to get his attention.
I'll come trotting over. I see that you finally secured your traveling companions.
Yep, this will get us around where we need to go a lot faster than it would on foot.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of men ride those into town when I was in Dyalt. Well, I don't think I will have issues matching their speed. Would you care to trot or run?
Let's not tire him out in case we need to run from something later.
Agreed. A trot should be fine.
Yep, a trot will be perfectly fine for now.
Very well. And I will travel alongside.
Okay.
I guess the question comes down because we know obviously Lena's on our pony, but between, I guess, me and Dream, who's the one hanging in the cart, who's the one riding the horse?
I am absolutely all for hanging on the cart.
All right. Typical cat.
So there is the like a little bit of a bench on the front of it that allows you to sit there behind the horse and steer it with the reins. So you don't have to be directly on the horse. And in this case here, the way that it's set up with the pole and the wooden arms to connect up kind of idea, don't really have much space to ride the horse anyway. So you do have to be behind it, but steering with the reins.
Okay. Then I will be piloting the horse then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're all ready to go. You're all ready
Piloting
to
instead
set
of
out.
driving.
Yeah, piloting. Yeah. So you're all ready to go.
All
and
systems
set
check.
yourself up and heading.
Activate the G diffuser system.
You better hope that horse don't backfire.
Only if we feed it Yassel greens.
Alright, let's see what this one sounds like. Yeah, I can go with this for now. Okay. So you set out into the cold, snow-capped mountains to your right, and a deep, darkened forest off to your left, following the trail on the road. The first day, because you're leaving kind of midday, if I recall, with everything else that ended up happening with all of this, you start out and it's pretty fair going, trying to get a good feel of it. Kaiser, go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me. Lena, you too.
This ought to be fun. Great. No.
Okay.
Yes!
So,
I don't fall off!
Lena, you take it in stride. Surprisingly, the pony is very well mannered, very well accustomed to having someone of your stature be on her, and you're able to go ahead and ride without issue. Kaiser, this is a new experience for you, guiding a horse in such a manner, and handling the churns that end up in the road tends to be a little bit more of a problem for you, and it does take a little bit of time getting used to it. So your speed for the first set out of the day is just as fast as if you were walking, but it was only going to be about a half-day travel anyway.
Lena is also talking to the pony because it's being so well behaved. And she's going, "Oh, you're such a sweetheart. No wonder he wanted extra money for you." And she's like scratching her neck and everything.
Meanwhile, from the nearby cart, you can hear Kaiser just, God damn, motherfucker, would you just go the right way?
Be patient. I'm sure that you'll get it.
Night begins to fall. What would you like to do? Set up camp? Continue on through the night? Something else?
We'll set up.
I've still got
camp.
energy to spare.
Yeah, but we don't want to run the horses or the pony too ragged, so letting them have some rest probably wouldn't hurt.
You're just saying that because it's mentally exhausting up there. You think I don't hear you cussing at that horse?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Look, these ears, they ain't just for show, all right? I can hear you.
What you heard was me speaking just in my native language to get the horse to go faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I grew up around...
Kaiser is the epitome of dignity and grace.
Yeah, okay. Sure, try to tell the girl that grew up in a port town what cursing doesn't sound like, okay?
So it sounds like
Kaiser, I have questions.
What's up?
What does goddamn mean? What does fuck mean? What's a bitch? I know what shit means. We've gone through that before.
Very explosively.
That sounds like an interesting story.
You don't want to know.
Oh, you have no idea.
I didn't want to know. And I did know. And I'm telling you that you don't want to know.
So it sounds like we're taking a little bit of a rest for the evening, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Kaiser's just going to look. Let me just put it this way. It just had to deal with a man who had a very explosive case of diarrhea.
Oh, goodness. Alright, so you all stop alongside the road. You find a clearing. It's pretty easy to find enough of a clearing considering the mountains have fewer trees towards that side, so it's a little bit easier to set up something. And you're able to get a fire going to keep yourselves warm and set up for the evening. Is there anything you would like to do before the watches begin for the evening?
Yes, I am going to point out that, yes, I do find somewhere to tie the horse down so it can't run off.
Sure. Alongside one of the trees that you hitch up everything to. Not a problem.
Yeah, I do make sure to tie up the pony, too. I'm going to see if I can find a sugar cube in my rations because she's been so well behaved.
We'll say yeah.
For their names.
Perhaps my memory is off. I don't remember coming this far, this many days after we had left. Well, me and Bellinor.
What direction are you looking for? North, west, what?
Oh, I'm just simply lamenting my past. You see, Gunnar's Pass is where I left with Bellinor when I escaped my holdings, me and the small pack I once had. Maya and Quebeca, as we named them. I just don't remember it taking a day to leave. It almost felt much shorter.
Maybe it was the adrenaline.
It very much could be. It also could be just the simple taste of freedom. 2 years passed in that hole. I didn't even realize how long it had been. Believe me, when you're stuck in one place, every single day starts blending together, but you also have no concept of time.
I think I know a little more about that than you think.
Perhaps. I do not know your history.
Well, I'm
Is
not
the moon
sure.
out tonight, DM?
Say again?
Is the moon out tonight?
Let's see. Yeah, and in fact, it is full.
Maka looks up at the moon and is like, yeah, I remember. It was almost this bright when we left. And when you spend so much time in a dark hole, you begin to miss the light, even just the moonlight, as silvery as this is. It felt
the
almost
wind.
like daylight when I got out. Oh yes, the wind. That reminds me, and Maka starts like scratching, but like you just hear tink 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 on the side of the armor.
Hold on. She's gonna get him to stop moving his foot and reach under and like scratch between the armor and him.
Oh, that's been bothering me all day.
No problem.
Thank you. Have to get used to this thing. It is so strange to not feel the wind in my fur so easily. I understand that this thing offers me extra protection, but it is just an adjustment.
Well, you don't have to wear it 24/7. If you'd like, we can take it off of you for the evening.
Tis better for me to acclimate to it, I believe. Give me a few more days before we choose to take this off. That way I can feel it as if a second skin. Although, when we find a river, I believe that will be a perfect time. Have any of you been to Gunnar's Pass before?
That would be a definite no from me.
I have not.
It's surrounded by walls almost on all sides. The wall that was over at Dialt is small in comparison. Of course, there's mountains on either side, but the wall that separates it from the road that you have to go through to get to the other side is just as high. I remember it the most because I remember in the back of my mind when we were leaving that there was a part of me that feared I would be stuck behind that wall if anybody had noticed we were leaving. Luckily, Bellinor seemed to have gotten that part figured out before we even got there.
Sounds like Bellinor.
And whoever he paid someone, I believe, and then, well, I distinctly remember when we were going up underneath the gate through and to the outside of Gunnar's Pass, he simply said, "No caught, no stop."
That's a good rule of thumb.
Well,
All right. So who's going to take first watch? Which two of you?
Pazerol, volunteer to go first.
If nobody else wants first watch, I'll take it.
Okay. So first watch will be Kaiser and Lena. Go ahead and take this time to have some conversation if you would like, if you have anything to say, and let me know when you're done.
So, how did your group get together entirely? You're very eclectic group.
We definitely make a motley crew. We met after most of us were falsely jailed for crimes we didn't commit.
Ah. Well, I'm glad you got out.
And yeah, it's been a mixed bag because that's being thrown in that jail is what set us all on the path that we're currently taking.
Yeah. This Asterfel guy, he doesn't seem to be, like, nice.
No, he's vile to his core. He's been taking people, regular people, and he's been contorting and turning them into monstrosities, essentially.
Oh, shit.
There was a goblin with us briefly, who was the sad result of one of his cruel experiments. It's sickening what he does to them.
Well, good to know him with the right people. I myself have something against people falsely imprisoning others.
Falsely imprisoning, forcing people into become things that are abominations in this world. It's not right.
I think if you're gonna change someone fundamentally, like, to their core, personality or otherwise, they should have a say in it.
100%. And these people, they don't get that choice. And that's what angers me most about it.
I think we're gonna get along okay.
I hope so. I've come to really appreciate the friends that I've made since this adventure has started.
Yeah, good friends are valuable.
You kept mentioning you were from Port City. What brings you out this way, anyways?
In 2 words, my past.
The past seems to be a driving force that sets us on paths we never expect, that's for sure.
Oh, trust me, I wanted to get away from there. I guess you could call it rebellion, but I said I was adopted. It was more like I was bought. So the woman I grew up calling mom, basically, she, I think she saw me as more of a tool than a daughter.
I've heard similar stories during my time at the temple that I serve in. Refugees that have escaped similar situations seeking refuge there. It's a lot of them are sight sorrier than what you thankfully seem to have avoided.
Yeah, well, you didn't see me growing up either.
That's fair. There was a word that some of the other brothers that served at the temple would call it trafficking, I think it was. Something along those lines?
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I don't know if what I was done to me would be called that, because usually they keep moving them around, and she kept me. But I don't know. It was a weird way to grow up. That's why, though, I'm not really scared of someone of your stature, because my brothers are half orcs, basically. And they're biggins.
Yeah. I've met a couple of half-orcs in my day, and they are definitely not small fellows. I
They're
can only
good.
imagine what that was like having two of them as brothers, though.
I didn't get teased a whole lot by the other kids. We'll put it that way.
I'm guessing you were, even despite the circumstances, were you close with your brothers then?
Yeah, they took good care of me. They always tried to make sure I was fed and warm and taken care of.
And
But
at that point, Kaiser looks sort of up at towards the full moon, and he looks at it sort of wistfully. Yeah, having family that cares is definitely a bonus.
As you look up at the moon, Kaiser, let's have both of you go ahead and roll perception checks.
– 16 for Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
let's see. That is a straight 17.
Okay. Continue on.
Yeah, they were good guys. I think they had rough childhoods too, you know? They didn't like to talk about it either.
Talking about the past, I know, is something that can definitely be tough, even with those that you're close to.
Well, I figure for some people it kind of reopens the wound.
And there are definitely some wounds that are hard to heal, even for me.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll say that your watch starts to come to a close. Nothing seems to have stood out or been of any concern in general for you. And you're able to go ahead and awake the other two to take their watch through the rest of the eve.
As we're heading off to do that, I'm just gonna... It was nice just relaxing and talking. I don't get to do it very often, it feels like.
It was nice talking to you.
Okay.
Just a side note, I am going to use my hour to focus before I go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaiser, before he goes to sleep, will take a few minutes to say a quick prayer to comet up towards the moon before he sets off.
Okay. Maka and Dream, your turn.
All right. Dream will have try to find a branch to perch in, basically. As Dream does. But before he went to bed, he actually set up the cart for sleeping, so that way one of the other players, or one of the other party members, if they wanted to, they could sleep in the cart and hopefully have a more comfortable rest.
Let's get the both of you to roll that perception check now, right at the start.
Ugh. Am I rolling with advantage or not?
This is going to be sight-based, so we'll say no.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. 12 is respectable. Not the best, but respectable.
17.
Okay.
That's better than respectable.
And your watch begins.
So, Bellinor.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Ugh.
I am so sorry.
What are you apologizing for?
I'm making a joke at his expense.
At whose expense? I'm sorry, I was not paying full attention.
Bellinor's expense.
Ah, yeah.
He can
Why were
be
you
a hand-
apologizing for him?
He can be a bit of a handful at times. But he's good folk.
Can be, I wouldn't know either way. We spent a few days together in a hole, so it's not like he had anywhere to go, and we conversed a little bit when it was my time to rest. All three of us, well, us three wolves, we dug and dug and dug till we found our way out. But he loves his music, doesn't he?
That he does. That he does.
Remember feeling reinvigorated by his music from time to time. Perhaps
Almost
that
as
was
good-
the magic that he wielded. I'm not sure.
Almost like taking a cat nap sometimes.
He trained you. You simply freed me. I did not have any extended time with him outside of Gunnar's Pass. And forget the fact that I didn't even know it was called the Gunner's Pass until yesterday.
Are you going to be okay going back there?
Yes. I hold no ill will to Gunner's Pass as a whole. To the place, but can't blame me if I don't want to be stuck in a hole again. But now that I am smart enough to know how to get free, I don't think it will be as easy for them this time.
We'll make sure that won't happen. And if it does, we'll all get out together.
With my stature and the way people treat me, I would not be surprised if they would sooner kill me than capture me again. Which is in their right to do.
They can try.
Tell me,
I'm not
Bellinor,
inclined.
how was your time training with him? You had more time with him than I did.
Oh, God. Sometimes I didn't know if he was trying to train me in his magic or trying to teach me how to pick up women.
You never seemed the one that would take comfort in other companions of the same kind. In what way did he try to help you, quote, pick up women? Was it simply
More-
to carry them to somewhere? Did they have weak feet for some reason? I do not know if women of the humankind have weaker legs.
I was more referencing the fact that half the time he was trying to meet the other half that I've seen him, he's been a flirt without abandon.
So he enjoys having multiple mateships.
Sometimes in the same day.
Oh. It is not something that I can quite relate to, but I have taken notes of other animals that do. Much like lemmings or weasels. Tell me,
Mhm.
why do humans desire to separate themselves from nature as much as possible, do you think?
Pride, arrogance. They think they are above it all. They think they know better. They think that what nature has to offer is only what they can take. A selfish species, if you ask me.
In the distance, you hear the gentle cry of a fox.
Foxes are looking for their kin, I hear. Humans do much the same thing. But their children are fascinating. In the time that I've spent with it's in my backstory and I can't fucking remember her name right now.
Who?
The old lady that I spent time with.
Amelia.
Amelia, thank you. In the time that I spent with Amelia, I got to watch the children play among the farmland, and they seem far more disconnected from the adults that try so hard to claim themselves as separate from everything else that the world gives them. Children do not care. They play just like any other animal would. They train, they imagine, they fall over one another and take glee in their gifts. And I think that's what drove me to want to understand mankind a little bit more, was because the children were far more inclined to question instead of outright refuse what the world gives them.
Do you miss them?
I do. I miss watching them play. They reminded me of wolf pups. They would form teams, they would pretend to fight each other, and then they would form different teams and go on the other side. All so that they could learn skills that they would need for when they finally became adults themselves. It was fascinating to watch, and I think that's the reason why I came to the conclusion that I just told you. I feel like children are closer to nature than their adult counterparts.
Aye. Because the arrogance is something that is learned. It is something that is taught. It is unfortunate, but maybe someday the cycle will be broken and balance will be restored.
I do have to commend a man for knowing how to tame nature enough in order to live off of it with less work. And I say that watching many people farm the ground for their food and use tools for their hunting. It does make things easier. I just wish they understood it does not separate them as much as they think it does. But I lament enough. Again, I ask, what was the biggest lesson you think you took from Bellinor?
That balance is the key.
Balance.
A more philosophical standpoint, but true nonetheless.
It's a curious thing.
Balance in all things. Between work and play. Light and dark. Earth and sky.
Do you think there is a balance between man and nature?
There has to be. The children are more in tune to nature. The adults are deafened to it. There has to be some kind of balance. And maybe someday they'll find it.
Perhaps someday I will find it.
And with that, your watch will come to a close as well. Night has passed, the sun is on the rise, and a new day lies in front of you. You all wait.
I go up to Kaiser. So, do we have more bacon?
Oh God. Good morning to you too.
I start sniffing through the packs.
I quickly go for the pack that would have the bacon sword and snatch it up before you can find it.
Very well. Should I go catch a rabbit?
Hang on. I'm going to reach into the pack and I'll take out a couple of strips. He'll throw it towards him and quickly jerk his hand back.
Which is a good instinct because he will snatch it barely before it leaves the hand.
He don't care if he gets fingers too. More protein.
And then Kaiser will reach in and grab a piece and munch on it for himself.
It's a shame that there's only going to be a few of these. I understand that we will need more. Most of this is so good cooked. I wish I could learn how to cook too. Just so I could have more of this.
Well, they come from pigs, so if we can find some wild ones, we could probably make more.
Do they now?
Oh boy.
Yes.
All right.
How soon do you think we're going to be off? I could go hunt a boar right now.
Considering what we have to get through, sooner would probably be better.
I see. Well, we have a few more days travel. Maybe I'll get lucky.
Okay. You all have a little spot of breakfast to get yourself up and going for the morning, and you begin your journey further west. Now, very important question. Who wants to roll a d20 for me?
Let's all
I'll do
pick
it.
up at once now.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be the first to roll a d20.
All right. Maka, roll a d20 for me.
Ooh, that's a 5.
That's a
Oh, boy.
5. Okay.
I heard
was that?
laughing.
I heard laughing.
Yeah, I heard background laughing,
Yep.
which does not bode well.
Yeah.
That might have been from my house. I'm sorry.
No, it
Oh,
was.
oh,
that
okay.
That was.
Makes you feel a little bit better.
Okay.
No nat 20 this time to throw a wrench in the DM's plans.
No, I planned for it. There was no throwing a wrench this time. I was ready. So, 5. Very well. You set out on your travel for the day and end up traveling for about half the day uneventful. Nothing really seems to be very much of an issue there for you. Okay. What ends up happening then? Let's see. Maka, are you out front or are you walking alongside the cart?
I'll be out a little bit in front, but mostly beside. Like, I'm not going to be straying too far, but instead of on the road, I'll probably be more like on the side of the road.
Okay. Kaiser, I would like you to go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me first to see how we do in the speed of travel, since we had a failed attempt before.
Oh, shoot.
This one's not much better.
Oh,
Well then. Natural 1. Okay.
At least it's out of the way now.
Yeah, it's out of the way now. Okay. As you're traveling, right around half point of the day, you end up starting to lose control of the horse. The horse senses something and seems to be heading towards it. It starts to take you off of the actual road and leading you down into the woods. You're struggling, trying to regain control, but it does its thing and continues to lead. Does anyone want to try to do anything about it?
I would.
The road's getting a little bumpy back here.
Yeah, you just see Kaiser pulling on the reins, going like, "Whoa, whoa!" and you just hear him trying to stop the horse. But
I would like to try and make note which direction back to the road is.
Okay. Pretty easily done. Give me a general navigation check for that. Or survival, I should say.
Do I get advantage because of my polar sense?
We'll say yes. Because that's knowing which way is north and everything, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll say yes.
How do you turn on advantage? Because this is my first time. Ah, there it is, up there. You said survival, correct?
Yes. Okay. 14 on survival, because you got a +0. Good to know.
Yes.
You feel fairly confident that it should not be much of an issue to find your way back to the path, especially with your keen intuition on just being able to navigate in directional form, especially. The horse continues off into the woods and comes down onto a small babbling brook, where it ends up stopping, leaning down, and having a drink. Who here Give me your passive perceptions, please.
16 for Kaiser.
Okay.
16 for Dream.
Okay.
Straight 10 for Lena.
15 for Maka.
Okay. Dream and Kaiser. And in fact, I'm going to go with Dream on this one because, Kaiser, you're a little focused on the horse at the moment. Dream, with all of the hubbub going on about the horse and trying to get it to focus, and then a little groan of, you were thirsty, that's the problem. You notice that there's actually sound coming from back on the road. What sounds to be a couple voices.
Do I hear this as well?
I'm just gonna say Dream does, just since he had the highest.
Okay.
We're gonna give it, and because he's also likely facing backwards off of the cart while you were riding, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so we're gonna give it to Dream on this one.
Okay.
Okay. I will jump off the cart and cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay. Good to know.
Not knowing anything the wiser, Kaiser's gotten up from the seat, and I'm standing behind the horse at the moment, and I'm just like, why can't you just stop being so stubborn and work with me?
We're not alone.
What?
Lena's gonna hitch her pony to the cart and go hide a teeny bit off a ways in the woods, just in case, and ready her crossbow.
Sure. Give me a stealth check. And add 10 to it, because hide without trace. Or pass without trace, rather.
Yep.
That will be a 22.
Plus 10.
Oh, that will be a 32.
Yep. All right. Rogues, man.
Yeah.
You are very solid in the sense that you feel like you are stealthed. And I assume, like, getting a little bit of a view of the road, I would assume?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the direction of the road to our pathway, sort of, what I'm keeping my eye on.
Okay. On the road, what you see coming up is a group of 4 individuals, varying races. One appears to be human, another an elf, a third a halfling, and a fourth a dragonborn. From this distance, while they're still approaching, you can't tell gender or anything just yet, but there is potentially a little bit more. Give me a perception check.
Ah, there it is. 8.
Okay. There's still a little bit of ways, and there's trees in the way as well. You are definitely hidden, and you can see them, but you can't get too much more detail about what's going on just yet. You do obviously see that they are heading in your direction. Along the
While
road.
all of this is going on real quick, where the horse stopped, is there a tree close by where we stopped?
Absolutely.
Because I would, upon hearing Dream say we're not alone, I would hitch the horse.
Mm-hmm. Easily done.
And make my way back towards the back of the cart and stand beside where Dream is.
Okay. At this point, I would like everyone except for Lena to give me a stealth check with a plus 10.
I'm back in my armor now, so
19.
13.
Okay. And Maka?
11.
Plus 10.
21.
Okay. The four beings continue and get closer and closer. And Lena, at this point now, they are close enough that you can see several protrusions sticking out of them. Some of them from clusters along their body, others in a nature that you are already familiar with. Notably, two of them seem to be covered in ice clusters, while the other two have spines sticking out of them from different places. They all seem to be walking and conversing with one another, paying very little mind to a lot going on around them.
If I can't hear what they're saying, can I get a general sense of like the tone of their conversation?
Yeah, the general tone and body language that you can see from this distance is a little bit carefree, kind of cordial with one another. Yeah, that's kind of the general gist that you're getting.
I'm gonna hold on firing them until they get aggressive.
Mm-hmm. The group continues, and now they end up in earshot, and they are conversing. You know what you hear? Man, I know we had to go out there to Gunnar's Pass, but we really should have come a little bit more prepared than we did, huh? Another one pops up. Yeah, I just, when you're traveling on the road, you really need to make sure that you bring the things that you need to bring with you. And honestly, leaving the warehouse like we did and not bringing the things that we should have, I mean, boss wanted weapons. We got to deal with the cultists. We really got to do something like that. You can't go in there without weapons. I certainly would have liked to have a bit more armor before I walk into that kind of a situation. But it is what it is, I suppose. But I guess we're going back. Yeah, I guess we gotta go back. Well, hopefully the battle doesn't end before we get there, huh? A little bit of glory, that's what I'm up for.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna shoot at one of them.
Alright. Do you want to shoot one of the ice crystals, or do you want to shoot one of the spined?
I'm gonna go with ice crystals because I don't like cold.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack with advantage.
Where is my crossbow?
And this is a hand crossbow, right?
Yeah.
Are you
There
sure
it
you
is.
want to be 30 feet from the road? With a 32 stealth, I think you absolutely can be, but are you sure you want to be like 30 feet close to the road?
Do I think I can get back to the others and warn them before these guys get there?
They're about 60 to 90 feet, somewhere in that range, deep off of the road, so that's your call.
Yeah, I'll double my movement and get back to them because these guys obviously don't know we're here. And I'm gonna basically appear out of the brush, like drop it off invisibility and be like, yeah, there's guys coming. They sound like they work for Asterfel.
Okay, so we're holding off on the shot then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to warn them first, and then well, the double move would be my action, right?
Yes.
Well, are we in actions yet?
We're not in actions yet, but it's essentially the action concept is, yeah, you'll be sprinting to get back to them. Especially because in stealth, to do it quietly and not draw their attention, you'll have to move a little bit slower in the first place.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah, she would rather have them be prepared, just in case.
Mhm.
So she's gonna make the decision to go back and warn her new friends before these guys decide, oh look, it's cultists, we're gonna fire on them.
I can distract them. I mean, I may be a dire wolf, but I'm a wolf nonetheless. This is my territory. It wouldn't be that strange to see something like me cross their path.
Yeah, but how are we gonna hide the cart and the horses and the pony?
There's plenty of brush around here, trees, things like that.
To put in perspective as well, when they came into earshot, they were pretty much almost on top of you as is. And if they were to take a turn and look off to the right, they would probably see a lot of trees and maybe the sliver of the cart.
I'll draw their attention so that they
Okay.
don't know the rest of us are here. And I'm going to go a little bit ahead of them, and I'm going to cross their path. I'm going to come out of the brush and cross the road and stop and look at them. I'd say about 30, 40 feet away.
From behind them at this point?
Oh no, from ahead of them, because I want them to not look directly to the right where they would see everybody. I want them to see the movement of me in front of them, crossing in front of them, and then keep following me as I keep crossing the road.
Okay.
I'm drawing their attention.
Okay. And purposefully drawing their attention.
Correct.
So, what these four see is a direwolf, armored nonetheless, dashing out from the brush and the trees across the road and crossing about 30 or 40 feet ahead of them. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All at once, they tense up, and you hear one of them go, "What? Out here? No, this is too far from the pass. What is it doing all the way out here? This isn't good. What do we do?"
I'm going to just simply huff at in their direction,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm just going to dart off onto the left side of the road
Okay.
and into the trees.
Yep. As you do, it starts to fall out of earshot, and they're under some hushed tones, but you can tell that they're talking amongst themselves.
I'm going to start circling, when I get about, I'd say, into the 120 foot range to where, I can be more obscured by the trees. I'm going to start circling around as if to, circling around behind them. Not to be seen, but, as into just in case they start firing at my friends, I want to know, I can act in a suitable manner.
Mm-hmm. So are you back out on the road proper then?
Nope, I'm just I'm staying in the brush, but sort of to their back left-hand side.
Back in the direction of Gunnar's pass.
Yeah, but just barely keeping an eye on them behind the tree and stuff, just sort of so they would have to, I guess, have a key, they would have to see me, so I'm going to probably have to roll a stealth check.
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
It's an 11.
Unfortunately, you're too far away from my pass without trace at this point.
Yeah, no, I knew what I was doing.
There's
But it does say here,
something that I want
when I'm traveling alone, you can move stealthily at a normal pace as my natural explorer, so...
Yeah, so you get the movement, which is why I'm not saying that you can't move as quickly as you are. I want to see the phrasing on Pass Without a Trace, because I've heard it referenced the way that we're talking, and then I've heard it referenced similar to Beacon of Hope. So I want to check that really fast. Da-da-da. Okay. No, it just sticks on you, actually.
Oh,
So, and here's the wording of Pass Without Trace. Veil of Shadows and Silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a plus 10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. It doesn't say that they have to stick in your radius. And in fact, it's the same way as Beacon of Hope is, where it's whatever is within, you select the target, and then you maintain concentration.
ooh.
So-
So that makes my 11 a 21.
Yes, it does. Okay. Taking a look back, they don't seem to see you. They're looking, they're freaking out a little bit about it, and they start to increase their pace and run further up the road away from your direction, trying to increase the speed at which they were moving. I would like for you to make an insight check for me.
Okay. 24.
The body language that they seem to have expresses fear.
When they're so I'm gonna take a chance and dart across the road when they're a little bit further ahead,
Mhm.
like beyond. I'm gonna dart across the road and go back to where everyone is waiting.
Are you breaking stealth to dart to let them know that you're there, or are you trying to stay stealthy as you dart?
I am staying stealthy as I do so.
Okay. Successfully, with that 21, you're able to go ahead and dart back across and regroup with your allies.
I think they're sufficiently distracted. They didn't notice. They didn't notice you. They only noticed me. But they are very afraid. They said something about why is one out this far, and then they made hasty tracks out of here. But I don't think we have to worry about them seeing us.
Well, this guy mutates things, right? Maybe they thought you were one of his experiments?
I would not be surprised. Either way, they're not a threat to us right now.
I don't think that would be the case. Anyone that is, or anyone that would be part of their experiments would be one of their allies. Maybe they assume that Maka is or belongs to one of the cultists.
I don't know, but they were incredibly afraid after they saw me. Which isn't abnormal, except for the fact that it's almost like they recognized me. I wasn't just a random dire wolf or a random wolf in general. It's like they knew what kind I was, or like there was a look of recognition. I've never seen them before in my life. They were definitely afraid when they left.
Do you think they might have an inkling to what's been going on then?
It's very possible.
I don't think they know what happened at the warehouse because they were talking about getting back and hopefully there would be some left. Like they were looking, some of them were looking for a fight. So I don't think the news has traveled quite that fast.
Are you sure they weren't leaving a place and simply going to Gunnar's Pass as if to...
No, they were
Talk to
coming
someone?
from. They were talking about getting back to the warehouse And they were talking about coming from Gunnar's Pass, and they should have been better prepared for the cultists.
They're not going to like what they find at the warehouse, or rather, what they don't find.
Yeah.
They simply said, "Why is one of them out this far?" when they saw me.
I mean, they wouldn't be the first people that we've seen that were prejudiced against dire animals.
That's what I thought, because we've seen plenty of dire animals come from people just like this. If they're connected to Asterfel, Asterfel has plenty of dire animals around everywhere he goes. Everything's affected by them everywhere he seems to appear.
Let's keep it in the back of our minds. We should probably continue going.
I suppose at this point, we shall just keep an eye out.
Okay.
Would you like for me to travel from the trees just to make sure that we aren't surprised by anything?
Yeah, scout around, make sure we're alone this time.
Very well. And I won't wait for another word. I simply take off.
Okay. As the rest of the group returns back with the cart and the horse to the road.
Before that, as I'm unhitching the horse, I'm going to look at Drain. Are you sure you don't want to drop this thing?
I would, but I need to keep concentrating on my spell for Maka's sake. So he can continue his hiding in the trees for his protection.
You're not the best of liars, Dream. You know that. And I'll just, hop back in and start leading back to the road.
And I never professed to be so.
Okay,
You just hear Kaiser at you saying that.
The three of you get back to the road and continue the journey down the road with Maka out in front. So Maka, I'm going to need a stealth check first with a +10, and this is going to be for your first hour.
16.
Okay. And then I need a perception check, and you can give me advantage. Just tell me which way you're getting the perception.
I don't need to. I got a natural 20 on the first roll, 25 total.
Okay, which way are you getting perception?
What do you mean, which way am I getting perception?
Sight, hearing, smell.
Oh, smell first. Always smell first for me.
Progressing through, you recognize typically the scent that ends up coming off of some of these creatures. What you're picking up is almost a smell like mint and sulfur mixing back and forth. And what you gather, especially with a natural 20, is this is the smell and odor that is lingering off of the group that had just passed by you. It is absolutely getting weaker in the direction moving forward. And as you continue forward, after the hour is done, I'm going to need you to go ahead and give me another stealth check. This time without the +10.
16.
Okay, 16 again. You continue along the path towards the road, continuing on, and nothing else seems to catch your attention. A lot of you are able to actually continue for the rest of the day without incident until night falls and the evening sets upon you once again. Now, we had conversations between you guys in one way the previous night. Is there any conversation that you would like to have in the other setup tonight?
Are you sure we should camp out up along the road, or should we stay off the road before we make camp?
Definitely off the road, at least somewhat out of sight, to be safe.
That's what I was going to suggest. I'm glad we have consensus on this.
Okay.
Because nothing about that encounter earlier sits right with me.
You're not the only one, especially since they seem to recognize me. And while I did expect fear, it was like a familiar kind of fear. It wasn't just a fear of a beast. It was a fear of a known. I don't know.
You specifically.
Sort of like they've seen something like me before, yes.
I mean, you mentioned that there were others that you were packed with previously. Could they have encountered one of your previous pack?
Unless they're holding... Unless they know where Kamea went. No. Because the only other one would be Quebeca, and unfortunately she has passed.
Setting up camp.
It does not matter. I believe I will spend most of my night closer to the road, but in the brush, to stay mildly alert.
Mm-hmm. You all set up the camp off the side of the road and hidden in the brush, in the trees, and night sets in fully. You're able to go ahead and bed down for the evening and set up watches as you see fit. Conversation does not necessarily have to happen, but who's taking the first watch?
Because of my uneasiness, I'm going to take first watch.
Okay. Who's joining Maka?
I'll join Maka, and I'm going to use an hour of the watch to activate vigilant senses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a area of 90 feet.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and make a perception check for the both of you, please.
7. I ain't seen shit.
Oh, sorry, I still have advantage turned on.
Let me take the first roll.
That is a lovely little 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, do I get advantage because of, or is this not advantage?
I'll say you get advantage because you're on edge and you would be more attuned with your scent, your smell right now.
Okay, then the better of the rolls would be 19.
Okay. Your watch is able to go ahead and go through without any real concern or worry. Something that you are picking up on the wind is the very faint smell of burning wood. It's very faint, though.
Hey, Lena.
Hmm? Yeah?
Smell. Do you smell that? I smell burning wood.
Do I smell it once it is pointed out to me?
Make a perception
Yeah.
check. Let's see.
Okay. Ten?
You don't.
I don't smell anything.
Usually that means there's a campfire somewhere. We didn't set up one.
I mean, I don't need it. I can see in the dark fine.
I want to follow it. Against my better judgment. Lord knows I've gotten in plenty of trouble because of campfires, but
You
Just
want
want
me
to
to
make
come
sure
with
that
you?
we're not going to have company.
You want me to come with?
Can you track further behind me?
I mean, like I said, I can see fine in the dark. A lot of people can't.
Very well. Yeah, let's go see what that's about. And I'm gonna get up and go toward that smell.
Okay. Moving towards the smell, it continues to stay weak, but it is coming from the direction of moving further up the path.
Okay.
How long do you want to continue out for?
If it took an hour for Lena to do the ritual, I'd say I'm going to follow it for another hour.
Okay. Following the smell for an hour, on the wind, it only slightly gets stronger, and with your natural sense of being able to track, you can gather that whatever the source of the smell is, it was a significant burn, and it was many hours away.
I think we would have to keep traveling much further than we would be comfortable in order to find what this is, and I almost think that this is a much larger fire than simply campfire. Like a burned forest.
Not that strong.
Oh, it's that strong. We've been living near New York. We know what we're talking about now.
Yeah, and it ain't that strong, I'll tell you. It's
Okay. Well, either way, I'm just going to say it smells much further away than that. The last two chances I took with campfires did not turn out well, and I don't care for a third. As long as we're not going to be snuck up on in the middle of the night, I think it's safe to return. What do you think?
I can do my thing again, so it can wake me up if someone comes within a certain distance of us. So I doubt we'd be able to be snuck up upon.
Alright. Let's make sure to tell the others when we get back.
Yeah, let's
when it's
do
their
that.
turn to keep watch for the night.
Yeah. That's
All right,
prudent.
we'll head back.
Okay. The two of you head back, you rejoin the camp, and you're able to go ahead and either awake them if you want right away, or finish out the last bit of your watch.
Finish out last bit of watch. There's no reason to wake them up immediately.
Okay. You finish out your watch. It is uneventful otherwise. You go to wake them up, and their throats have been slit and everything's gone. No, they're there, everything's fine. You can wake the two of them up and get a little bit of shut-eye yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my awareness thing again.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just especially because he smelled that fire.
Yep. And refresh my memory on that one. It's if something comes within a range, right?
Yeah. Just a moment. I think it was 90 feet.
I think so.
Yeah, 90 feet.
Okay.
And I know it's size category.
Yeah. Okay. Second watch for the evening, Kaiser and Dream. Go ahead and make some perception checks for me, fellas.
As they woke us up, did they let us know about the smell of the fire that Maka smelled? Or...
I think
Yes.
you said he did, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
was
no.
my intention. I was gonna say, I told Lena, I was like, we'll tell them when we get back, or
Yeah,
when
when
it's
we
their
wake
turn.
them up. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So, straight roll. Kaiser, what did you get?
We're going with the first since I accidentally rolled it with my disadvantage. It would be a 21.
Yep, for the first roll. And Dream?
I got a 7, which means I rolled a natural 1.
Natural 1. Okay. Thankfully, that 21 does make up for that pretty nicely. Your watch comes to an opening. Is there anything you two want to talk about? You don't have to.
Kaiser's going to be more on high alert since over the whole smell of the fire thing and the events earlier, but he's going to sort of lean against a tree, probably the one that Dream would be perched on. So, we know of Maka's history with Bellinor. How did you meet that fellow? What's your story with him?
I'm just staring up at the moon as I reminisce about this. That is definitely a tale. Basically, I had been, let's see, where's my... Basically, I had been working as a jeweler, an apprentice, when a demon made their way into the shop through a portal. That certainly caught me off guard, and Bellinor swiftly came in soon after. He had been in pursuit, presumably. And with my aid, made quick work of it. He then offered to train me in his arts, mostly because I was curious. And that's just...
A portal, as in a similar portal to what we've been dealing with Asterfel's shit?
Yes. I had been resistant to tell any of you about it until I could confirm that the events were similar. But it's basically my mission, as it were, to find the source of these portals and to stop it.
Asterfel, he's working or somehow using dyers. He's twisting fellow people into monstrosities. Just how sick of a person is this guy?
He's deplorable, that is for sure.
You can definitely say it's a hell of a mess we've all gotten ourselves caught up in.
Kaiser, something you notice, scurrying up towards the back of the tree that you're leaning up against, you hear a gentle squeaking and something trampling over some fallen leaves and going through the bushes. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, as quietly as I can, do you hear that? To Dream.
With the natural one? No, you don't.
Hear what?
I'll get up and I'll sort of make my way around to where I heard the noise.
Sure. Taking a look down towards where you heard the noise, you see a small mouse.
Does it look like a mouse, or does anything seem off about it?
Give me a nature check.
$14.
Seems like a pretty straightforward mouse. Nothing seems to be off.
I'll reach into my pouch and pull out a small piece of jerky and sort of put it on the ground in front of it and sort of kneel down. You gave me a hell of a fright there, little guy.
As you get closer to it, it does retreat a bit.
Just a bigger piece, but still kind of small, and I'll sort of toss it more towards the mouse's direction.
It seems to panic for a second, then come over and sniff at the large piece, bite at it, and try to drag it off with it.
I was still a bit cautious, but after it sort of drags the piece off, I'll go back around to the front of the tree. It was just a mouse.
Well, that's a relief.
Especially with everything we've stepped in. It's bad when even a little mouse I'm cautious about a freaking mouse. Ugh.
I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to do your own thing. This is my mission, after all. You don't have to get yourself mixed up in this any more than you already have.
No, it sort of aligns with a personal mission that I'm out on as well.
Oh.
Asterfel is dealing in dire creatures, and I've made it one of my personal goals to, let's just say, deal with dire creatures as best as I can.
I see.
Maka currently notwithstanding, they're abominations.
I won't tell him if you won't.
I heard that.
Maka pretty much knows my feelings anyway, so... I mean, because of Maka, I'm trying not to paint all of them under the same broad brush, but he's been the only one so far.
Fair enough. Then, so long as our goals align, I promise that I will try and aid you the best as I can.
Same to you. You know I'll have your back.
Maybe I should pick up an instrument.
I tried once. A lute, I think it was. My chorus fingers are too big and clumsy. I couldn't quite take to it like I had hoped to be able to.
The rest of the watch continues on uneventful for the both of you, until the sun begins to rise and day 2 on the road has concluded.
And speaking of, now would be a good chance to mention that during a long rest, I did swap my spell list out a little bit.
Sure. The morning begins for day 3 of travel, and keep in mind that the first half day was slowed by a little bit of a trouble with maintaining control of the horse. The second day was absolutely slowed by having trouble maintaining the horse. In total, you have now traveled what you can gather to be approximately one of the 3 to 4 days travel, depending on the
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah. And as we come in, Kaiser, he's already awoken, and I'm standing at the horse, and Kaiser's just looking at it with kind of staring it in the eyes with kind of pleading guys on his own. Please just behave and cooperate with me today.
You know, I could actually be some help in this case.
How so? Because right now, any help would be appreciated.
Give me just a moment, then. And I'm going to cast, Speak with Animals.
Okay.
I was just about to ask if you knew how to speak horse.
Yeah, not horse specifically,
Apparently the
but...
answer is yes.
Can you
So
speak
Maka-
horse? Do you mean specifically, or...
And looking at the thread, the interwoven threads of magic and everything, I take one in my mouth and let it melt against my tongue as I did last time. And then I look at the horse and say, "Can you understand me?" And of course, to the rest of you, all you hear is, from the fucking wolf.
Well, Maka's already a sight, but I never... This is... No, to say the least.
I will
a dire
clarify.
wolf neighing.
I will clarify. Maka tries that to start, and then the magic fully takes over, and it just becomes common for him that you end up hearing.
Oh, come on!
No,
you guys want to hear?
That's how the magic works.
I
You
know,
speak common. You speak commonly, and then the horse, what it says, you understand. But
So no Dr. Doolittle.
no Dr. Doolittle.
No.
At least not in the Eddie Murphy sense. If we go back to the earlier by a couple decades Dr. Doolittle, then it's appropriate there. If my memory serves correctly. At any rate, so what did you ask the horse?
Can you understand me?
Whoa.
Sort of a checking to see if the magic is working.
Whoa. Here's a talking wolf.
Even the horse is.
We have a few more days to go, but we want to get you to the next town so that you can have good hay and food.
Oh, I do like good food.
The one that is guiding you from your reins just simply wants you to listen and understand him, and if you could just do your best, I would very much appreciate it.
Well, but I'm trying my best. It feels
Well,
like
you seem to have gotten quite spooked yesterday. Why?
I was thirsty.
Oh, okay. Well, if we could find a way to bring some water to you, would that better help?
Oh, yes. That would make things a lot more simple.
I turned to the others and just said, apparently it's going to seek out water when it's thirsty. Is there any way we can get some water to bring with us for the horse?
And you got an extra water skin?
In all of the equipment that we got, did we get a bucket?
Yep.
Is there a nearby stream by chance?
You can check.
I will sort of gallivant around the edge of where we're at and see if I can find a source of running water then.
Sure. Because you're looking for water specifically in this kind of a situation, I would say a survival check.
Ah,
10.
Okay.
I saw it tease you with that other number too.
Yeah. It takes a moment, but you do manage to find a small bubbling brook that you're able to go to. It's not too far off.
In the meantime, Lena, do I remember you picking up some carrots in the warehouse a couple of days ago?
Picked up a lot of stuff. Let me check.
There was foodstuffs in there, several crops, and I believe carrots were one of the things that were in there, yes.
Then I probably took a couple, yeah. I'm greedy about food.
The horse says that it would very much appreciate some food for the journey as well, and very much prefers carrots.
That's fair. He's pulling the cart. She'll pull out a couple of the carrots and offer them to the horse.
It will happily start to chew on them, and you see the gentle flick back and forth of its tail. It seems very happy. And Amaka, you hear, "Oh, this is delicious."
Very good. All we have to do is follow this road. I'm talking to the horse, by the way.
Mhm.
All we have to do is follow the road for the next couple of days, and we will camp in this. We will stop in the forest as we did last night, and we will get you to where we're going, and you can rest.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll do my best. Just have the one holding the leather, not tug it so hard to the sides so often.
I will absolutely be sure to tell them that.
Oh, thank you, big talking wolf.
You are quite welcome. And I assume this is when, like, Kaiser's coming back with the bucket.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of that, before I do make it back, I would have filled the bucket and I would have also refilled my water skin as well.
Sure.
So then
Meanwhile,
I'll run back
Maka
with
is
the
literally
bucket.
just licking some dew off some grass on the side.
Okay.
But and then when you I could be like, the horse says, just simply do not jerk the leather so hard. Try
Line
to
up on
keep
the
a more
ring.
relaxed grip.
Got it.
Okay. So the day will go ahead and start with travel once again. I would like one of you, someone different this time, to go ahead and roll a d20. Straight d20.
I'll roll it this time.
Mm-hmm.
I almost completely forgot I had the once a day sneak with animals. Makes animal handling so much easier.
8.
Okay. 8. For the sake of this, give me another roll.
Just a straight D20?
Yep.
Ten.
Okay. Now go ahead and roll an animal handling check with advantage.
Thank God. I'll probably need it.
Hey, there you go.
I definitely needed it. 19.
Okay, very nice. So the day of travel begins, and after having a talk with the beast of burden leading you forward, things seem to be going a lot smoother today. Taking the horse's advice, it ends up leading the way and dragging the cart without issue. It is at about halfway through the day that smell of smoke and burning wood that you ended up smelling the night before begins to really creep up and start to become a smell for all of you. This smell very specifically doesn't smell like a fresh fire. It smells like it's petered out. This is smoke.
It's this the same smell from the other night, Maka?
I don't know. Is it?
It
Does it smell familiar?
It is, and it is stronger this time.
Yes, this is the smell. Absolutely.
That's a bit concerning.
Do you want me to go a little ahead to see if I can figure out what that is? I'll come back. The furthest I'll go out is an hour. If I see it any sooner than that, of course I'll come back immediately.
I think maybe we better stick together with us already running into them 2 other guys. Well, 2, 4, whatever. Them other guys that sounded that they work for this real bad dude. I really don't feel good about someone going off on their own right now.
Yeah, I agree at the moment. Let's just continue forward as we are for now and just see what happens.
Very well.
Okay. Continuing forward, in about half an hour, you start to see a plume of wispy smoke rising up over the tree line. And because the road is generally clear up to that point, you can see in the distance what appears to be a bit of wood broken down. It appears to be some kind of a larger mound of wood with a smaller mound next to it at this distance, and it is some smoke coming off the top of the larger mound.
A bonfire.
Continuing to approach.
That's what I was about to ask. Do we want to just keep going, or do we want to check this out?
It is on the road.
Oh, it is on the road, okay.
Yes. Continuing forward.
Question is it a bonfire or is it a pyre? Because I've seen farmers do both.
Continuing forward as you all start to get closer, what it is comes into picture for all of you. This is, or was, a carriage of sorts. Broken, splintered wood, a door on its side, ornate, but now charred and splintered. The fire that had been set has since gone out, and it is now just a smoking heap with little embers underneath, continuing to propagate the smoke. The smaller mound that you saw next to it is the body of a horse. Notably, clusters across both the horse's body and the shattered wood are solid ice. And there are multiple spines that are very familiar based on previous encounters sticking out of both as well.
I should have shot them bastards.
Yeah, we probably should have dealt with them back there.
Odds are we'll
do I smell burning flesh besides the horses?
Make a perception check. With advantage.
Damn, that sucks. 13 total.
It's really tough to pick up the smell of singed hair off of the horse, and the smoke of the burning wood itself is really messing with your nose. It's tough to tell.
I can't make out. Do you think anyone was inside the carriage when it burned?
As he's asking that, I'm going to set the reins down beside me, and I'm going to hop off the cart, and I'm going to approach the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have a look sort of around it and inside of it, see what I see.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
$13.
Okay. It takes a little bit, but you are able to gather that there is a little bit of a area in the middle of this pile of wood that seems to be maintaining some form of structure to create a hole inside of the pile. What's inside of that area is beyond you, because there's a little bit too much smoke, but you can tell that there is definitely some open space kind of in the middle. What would you like to do?
Dream proceeds forward.
So you said the smoke is still pretty thick here, right?
It's not as thick as if the fire was fully active, but it is still sputtering out some smoke.
Does the surrounding area still look like it would be really hot, or would it be cooled, more cooled?
Pretty cooled. This looks to be, based on the amount of smoke that you're getting off of it, like if there was just an ember or two still ignited in a bonfire. And it's going to be warm to the touch for sure, but unless you were to kick it back up into a full blaze, it wouldn't be dangerous to dig through.
Okay, so for the amount of smoke there is, Kaiser's just want to bring his arm up and sort of bury his muzzle in the crook of his arm. And I'm going to walk forward, and he's going to reach in and see if he can grab anything.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
Two.
You feel something kind of rough on your hand as you get it in there. Feels almost a bit like leather, perhaps, to a certain extent. Has a little bit of squish to it. Not very much, though. Almost kind of cylindrical, you gather. Almost.
Does it feel heavy? Like if I pull it, does it come easy, or?
How much of a tug are you giving? Just a gentle tug to see?
Yeah, just to see how much resistance there is first.
There's a decent chunk of resistance. It's not like what you've grabbed is independent and free. There's some kind of resistance going on, be it weight or it's trapped under something or whatever it is. You're not 100% sure.
Well, Kaiser will hold his breath, and he'll reach his second arm in, and he'll grab whatever it is with both hands and give it a harder tug.
Give me a athletics check.
$14.
Okay. You give one tug first, and it feels like it's starting to come loose. And with another tug, you give a pull, and you burst out an opening from this pile of wood and whatnot. Turns out what you've been tugging at and pull out is an arm attached to the charred remains of some humanoid being.
I'll back away from it with the arm still in hand, and I'll sort of show it to the... Well, I think we got the answer of if there was anyone in it.
It's very strange. Burning humans smell like burning pork. I heard that in the video.
Well, you can tell our household supports the stream.
What else would you like to do?
Dream, would you mind giving me a hand, see if we can get the rest of them out of this mess? It's not right just leaving them here like this.
I can do that.
And with Dream's help, I'll go in and try to get the rest of the person out.
Sure. Going in, you're able to recover the rest of the person that the arm was attached to, and in the process of doing that, you're noticing that inside of this area, it was the one person and one box, decently sized, charred over on the outside, but as you're moving things about, flecks of the char seem to fall off, and you see almost like a sparkly pattern underneath the ash that has deposited against this box on the inside.
As soon as we get the body out and laid down respectively, anyway, I'll go back in and I'll grab the box.
Sounds good.
And once I've got it out, I'll sort of use my hand to brush and try to get more of the soot and dust and dirt off of it.
Mm-hmm. What you end up brushing away is all of the soot, and you see it is what appears to be a standard wooden box, but seems to be untouched by the fire, even though it's been covered in soot and whatnot. On the top of it, the box seems to have a couple initials engraved into it. E-B-S.
Did you say BBS or BTS?
E-B-S.
Echo
Oh.
Bravo Sierra.
Yes.
Thank you. I was sitting there, I was like, are we about to make a fan base very angry right now, or what? Like,
Out of curiosity, Kaiser will try to open it.
Sure. Taking a look, there is a solid metallic padlock on the box to keep it locked.
That's to be expected. Hey, Lena, looks like you're about to get your first job as an official locksmith.
Sounds good. Let me at it.
And I'll hand the box to her.
Sounds good. Lena, go ahead and give me a dexterity check and add your proficiency with your thieves' tools.
Last time we did it with sleight of hand.
Yeah, you're proficient in sleight of hand, right?
Yeah,
Same deal. As long as you don't have expertise in sleight of hand.
I do have expertise in sleight of hand.
Okay. So, do you have expertise in thieves' tools? Or just proficiency?
Proficiency.
Okay, so we can't double that. So give me just a dex check, and then we're going to add your proficiency bonus, which should be a plus
All right.
3 right now.
That is a 17.
That's a dex save. I want a regular dex check. But actually,
I saw Dex and I got excited
No.
because it had my proficiency already on
that's
it.
fine, because in this case here, your dex save is still going to be plus your dex plus your proficiency, because you're proficient in it. So 17 is the actual number that you get. So that's fine. With a 17, pretty handily, you go at the lock. This is pretty familiar to you. You've seen this in some more upscale situations, but they always have this one little flaw to them. Get past that second tumbler and done.
Yeah, a lot of rich people favor these locks, and they don't know that they're all got the same trick to them. I know, it'll click open right after I say that.
Mm-hmm. The boxes.
Guys are all gather around for the big reveal then.
Okay. And Kaiser opens the box.
Sure. He'll sort of reach over Lena's shoulder, and after she pops it, and he'll pull it open.
Okay. Since both Lena and Kaiser are there, I need the both of you to go. No, I'm just kidding. Inside, as you open the box, appears to be a leather bag. A set of leather gloves, a pouch, and some kind of ornately decorated stick.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't this. I'll take the pouch and the bag and look inside of those.
Okay. Inside the pouch, you see several coins strewn about, all in silver or gold coloration. Taking a look inside the bag, you see nothing.
Does the bag have any sort of embroidery on it or special pattern?
There does seem to be some nice embroidery on it, but no specific patterning that stands out other than just being decorative, at least looking it over.
And just to be sure, since I've got both in hand at the moment, just to make sure I'm not overlooking anything, I'm going to take the coins from the pouch and I'm going to dump them into the bag to make sure there's nothing else like hidden in the coins.
Sure. You dump the coins into the bag, and trying to see what comes out and dealing with, doesn't seem to be anything else hidden inside of the pouch of coins. But notably, you don't hear the clinking of coins against one another as you dump it into the bag.
Lena, did you hear that?
More accurately, did I not hear that?
Exactly. I'm going to look back in the bag again.
Nothing is there.
This bag just ate the coins. They're gone. Geyser's going to stick his hand in out of just curiosity and sort of dig around in there. Like, what in the fuck?
The bag itself is only on the outside, appearing to be about 1.5 feet deep or so. You managed to go all the way up to your shoulder when reaching into this bag.
That shit's magic.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm sorry, did you say something about magic?
Yeah, that
Geyser will
bag
hold
is
up
magic.
Kaiser will just hold up his arm with the bags devouring like half his arm up to his elbow.
Kaiser does in fact do that. He holds it up to the side, so the bag is up against his arm, and it looks like his arm is essentially gone, and there is a bag there, because there's no way it would work. He lost an arm.
Oh no! And Maka leaps for the bag to snatch it off of his arm.
Yeah?
No, Maka, don't puncture it.
Yeah, Kaiser will try to jerk his arm away, seeing that, like, whoa, hold on.
No, I'm still going for it.
This back and forth exchange continues for a couple seconds at least.
It's good. It's trying to eat your arm, and I keep snatching for it.
Meanwhile, Kaiser's just got his arm completely up in the air now. No, it's not eating my arm. That's the
Kaiser,
thing.
just take the bag off your arm so Maka stops freaking out.
That's what I was about to say. Is Kaiser, he'll use his other arm and reach up, and he'll take the bag, and you watch as his arm rematerializes out of the bag, essentially.
There you go.
Thank
Miraculous. Does it not chew? It just tries to swallow you whole.
Okay, so now that I've seen all of this in action,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll roll something for it, but would Kaiser maybe have an idea of what this is at this point?
Please give me an Arcana check.
Shit, instantly back on you.
In fact, all of you can give me an Arcana check since you've been watching this happen.
I'm gonna laugh if I roll the highest.
That's not good. Not good.
Oh!
You did.
That's worse.
You did.
No! I got a 19!
I just love it how for the three of us it's sequential 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
And then it goes up to 19 for the one who has no idea.
Just try to fucking eat it.
Seems Maka's vamping the rolls again.
What is it?
So Maka, you take a look at this and realize that he was able to pull his arm fully back out of the bag when his arm shouldn't have been able to go that deep. And you've been able to gather, based on the little talk that they've been having and doing, that he poured gold coins in there, but the bag was held upside down and nothing came out. So now you're questioning, where did those coins go? It must be in the bag somehow. And how do you get it back out? The only thing you can think, with a 19 Arcana, because you don't really know Arcana,
Turn the bag inside out?
is turn the bag inside out.
Okay.
Does Maka suggest this?
Yeah. What? The coins disappeared. Your arm disappeared until you brought it back. Have you tried turning it inside out to just completely see if maybe the coins got lodged in a corner of the bag, perhaps?
This ought to be interesting. Kaiser will take, and he'll turn the bag inside out.
Churning the bag inside out spills out all of the coins that you had dumped inside of it, with 2 additional items falling out on top of this pile of coins. The first item...
I knew it! They just got lodged in a corner.
The first item is a well-faceted and about the size of one of the gold coins, a little bit bigger, clear, pure diamond. The other item that comes out seems to be a very odd find. It appears to be the base and cap of an acorn, coated in gold.
Dream looks like goes down on all fours and looks like he's about ready to pounce on that diamond.
Look over and Dream's got like those big round black eyes that cats
And you notice specifically
ears going
that,
back.
Yeah, I was about to say, and you notice specifically too that after the contents get dumped out, Kaiser sort of kneels down, and it's the diamond that he reaches out and grabs and picks up.
Mock is actually more interested in the acorn because that is a very strange looking acorn.
I'll
And
carry
because-
that bag.
This bag definitely seems like it could be interesting. And I'll hand the bag over to Lena. That could be useful.
Once we
Yeah.
figure out exactly what it is, of course.
She turns it right way around again.
Mm-hmm.
And then she immediately starts testing how big of things can fit in there.
Sure.
Like a kid with a toilet, man.
Yep. And pretty much everything that you guys have on you would be able to fit into this bag. So you keep going with however much you want to, and it fits.
I love this thing.
Notably, too, it doesn't get any heavier.
But how do we get things out of it? Do we have to turn it inside out every time, or?
That would be stupid. Nobody would make a bag you have to turn inside out every time.
Well, I couldn't get the coins out any other way.
I'm sure once we spend a little bit more time with it, we'll figure it out. There has to be another way.
I'm gonna reach in for a specific thing.
Okay. What kind of specific thing are you reaching in for?
I'll reach in for one of the gold coins.
Okay. Out of the bag, as you think about, where's one of those gold coins, and you're reaching around, you feel it brush up against your hand, and then you reach in and grab it and pull up a single gold coin.
Ah! It likes me!
How did you do that?
It likes me.
I told you, it likes me.
This doesn't smell like any acorn that I've ever come across, and it's shiny like one of those rocks.
We've also got these gloves and this stick in here as well. This would be probably Lena's first time seeing this, but Kaiser notably has had aviator-like goggles around his forehead for a while, and now for the first time probably you see him bring them down over his eyes. And I'm going to look at the gloves specifically and check them.
Sure. You take a moment and look through the goggles and take a look at the gloves. These gloves, while you're taking a look at them, you end up being able to pick up here. Make sure that that's the correct one. Yep, okay. Taking a look at it, you notice that they actually don't have any fingers. They are fingerless gloves, specifically. There are a couple bits on it with embroidery and glued on, perhaps, bits that you can see, and they are relatively shiny. But what you're able to gather using the goggles is that these are gloves of thievery. When you put them on, they go invisible. And there is an additional mechanical thing that happens past that. It will make anyone who wears it a bit more nimble with their hands, especially when it comes to messing around with locks.
You just... Well, what do you know? And I'll take the gloves. Lena, these would actually be very beneficial to you.
Oh, thank you. What are they for?
They will help with making your hands more nimble and help you with your locksmithing business.
Love a guy that supports a business. Well, thank you.
You are welcome. The rest I'll have to just check over time.
Okay.
And then I'll look back at the dime and remembering the conversation earlier. But how much would you say this is worth, Dream?
Yay, I get the praise.
Mm-hmm. With your skill and your knowledge, go ahead and roll a general wisdom check because that is your primary stat.
Okay. Made an advantage on this?
No, I'm just dropping the DC significantly because of your proficiency and everything with jeweler's tools.
Oh, okay. 15.
Yeah. You can say pretty confidently that this diamond would be worth on the market somewhere between 350 to 450 gold.
I need to get a closer look before I can fully assess. May I?
I'll hand him the diamond.
Okay. Get a little jeweler scope. Carefully look through the facets. Exquisite touch with its size and its purity. I'd estimate 350 to 400 gold.
That could be very handy then.
Indeed.
Would you care if I hold on to that then?
If you'd like. I can make some fine jewelry out of something like this. But you were the one who found it, so it's yours to do with as you wish.
Let's just say that this could definitely help in case of an emergency. And I'll put it in my pouch.
Okay. What else would you like to do while you're still here at this site, this scene of some kind of a...
Since I've still got the box that still has, I think all that's left in it is the ornate stick now. If I recall from what was in it.
The ornate, well-decorated stick.
I'll pick up the acorn and I'll put it in the box with the stick. And then I'll close the box and I'll put that in my pouch.
Okay.
For future checking, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And last thing I'll do is... I don't want to leave it like this, Dream. Would you mind helping me prepare at least a decent grave for this poor person?
I can do that.
Thank you. And I'll sort of go pick out an okay clearing amongst the side of the road to start digging a grave for this deceased person.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long to do and too long to handle overall, and you're able to set it up, laying this person to rest in an unmarked grave doing whatever you need to get that settled, saying a prayer to Kamada.
And I'll take a piece of wood that doesn't look too burnt up, and I'll use that as the marker for the grave, actually.
Oh, okay. Very good.
I'll take the acorn that was there and I'll put it in the bag because I just believe that it's basically like a misformed golden coin.
Mm-hmm. So we'll say that Maka has put into the big bag, right?
Yeah, the magical bag that likes to eat arms.
Yeah, Kaiser ended up putting that into the box, which then went into the bag.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And after all that is said and done, you're able to go ahead and continue. The rest of the day of travel goes without issue, continuing on, and you make up a decent amount of time. So now, out of the 3 to 4 days, depending on the circumstances, you have successfully completed 2 days worth of travel. We will go ahead and say that you rest for camping. I would like everybody to go ahead and just make a perception check to get through the night watch.
Okay, a little bit better.
Oof.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Ooh.
13.
Mm-hmm.
24. I'm starting to almost can peek into the veil.
19?
Okay. Let's see. How would you want to split up the 2 watches?
Kaiser would go first this time.
Okay. Kaiser and Maka first, or?
Sure, we'll go Kaiser, Maka, Dream, and Lena.
Okay. Kaiser and Maka, for the sake of brevity, we're going to go ahead and say that the both of you end up hearing some growling further up, a low rumble, and seems to be moving a little bit further away. Maka, you recognize this sound as that of a bear.
There's a bear not far from here.
I wonder if it's the bear that abandoned that cave a while back. What are the chances that it could be?
That would be very interesting. Honestly, though, the bears wouldn't be that much of a problem unless they have cubs, and then they fight much harder.
Well, I know I'm definitely not looking to get into a scrap with a bear.
I could avoid it, as long as I get a rest enough. I could speak to it, but I can't now. Not until tomorrow. You know, me and my pack fought a bear once.
Oh, how did that go for you?
It was thrilling. Oh, we fought so well. We answered each other's calls. We worked as a team. I got smashed into the ground once by it. That was fun, but just watching the other two fight with me. Made me feel alive and connected again.
There is a thrill in fighting, but nothing beats fighting along comrades, ones that you know you can trust and that you work well with.
Yeah, when you don't have to say anything and they know what they're doing and they know how to have your back. I long for those days again. I know that you've had a lot of anger and hatred towards dire animals because of what they've done to you and your kin.
You know, my hatred for dyers isn't just entirely personal bias. There is a reason for it. I don't often talk about it because it's not something I like to think about much, but I do have a sister. She's a bit older. She was nearly killed by dyers when we were younger. And that to me is just something I cannot forgive.
Do you still see yourself protecting her when you fight dyers?
Absolutely. Every time I come across one, the vivid vision of seeing her injured, near death because of it, it enrages me every single time. That's just an anger and a vision I cannot let go of.
I wonder if I would feel the same if I ran into an orc, the tusked ones. An orc is the one that killed my packmate Quebeca.
With every person, it can be different. I've been told time and again that my hatred towards dyers is over the top, borderline obsessive because of it. But for others, they can let it go. The only way that I feel that you'll find your answer will be seeing how you feel the next time you come across one.
I feel like we will get a lot of answers, or at least I will, soon, with the coming of this Gunnar's Pass. But what do you think makes dyers act the way they do? I ask because I understand what made me this way, but once I was free, I was happy to get away from consuming human flesh. It was bitter, it was nasty, and I've tasted wild game before. Believe me, the taste of a wildly hunted deer or rabbit tastes so much better than human blood.
I wish I had an idea, but honestly, I never really put any thought into it. My anger, my hatred for them, I only ever saw them as mindless, useless, worthless beasts, if I'm honest with you.
Until you met me, then.
Until I met you. Yes.
No.
And
for most animals like me, I can tell you from first hand knowledge, most of us just want survival. And we see even human flesh as a method of it. Live as long as we can, mate, produce more, keep the species alive. But there are some animals that fall into that more than others. The rats, for instance. I feel less bad about killing rats because they don't think about very much, whereas wolves are far more communicative. We have a social pact with one another even before we eat anything. Puppies form social bonds before they even stop sucking at the mother's teat. So I feel like there's a difference there.
then maybe this journey that we're on we were sent on by powers that be to maybe get these answers for ourselves then, because I know that meeting you, it's made me question some of my hatred. Not all of it, mind you. Maybe I was sent on this to confront those personal prejudices and biases that I've formed over the years.
Well, it's making me question, too, the dire part of myself. What makes me so different? What makes me not want the human flesh, whereas other dire animals do? I cannot help what has happened to me, but I do know Quebeca very much acted almost crazed in the sight of humans, as if it was a lust. But I also wanted to believe, not knowing her complete history, that Quebeca was simply acting because that perhaps she grew up in that hole, eating nothing but human flesh, and had never experienced anything outside of it.
So you think that maybe that it was just all she knew, so that's all she cared about?
Or perhaps there was something else, some kind of inner rage. When I became awakened, when Bellinor awakened me, there was a lot of thought and a lot of introspection. A lot of inner thought that happened within a very short amount of time that made me come to conclusions I am not sure other wolves would have come to, and other smarter animals would have even come to. If they were once dyers, would they forsake human flesh, and would they stop acting so brashly and almost rabidly if they had been able to experience one flesh before another? Would another wolf that was in my position act just like Quebeca despite knowing better? That I can't know.
Maybe, hopefully, we can find out together then. And get answers to both of our questions.
And that would be true, because if the answer is that they do not stop acting in such a rabid manner, then your prejudices are founded. They are valid. But if they are not, and they do choose to not eat human flesh when given the choice, then I would be valid in thinking that they are just simply looking for survival, even after they turn. The rats, however, were diseased. I have no qualms about that, and I will continue to kill any diseased animal, if only just to continue to put them out of their misery.
The only reason, because it was dire rats that almost killed my sister, and the reason that it happened is because we were defending our land from them invading it. So, and who knows, maybe I've been blinded too long by my anger, my thirst for vengeance against them, that maybe I've been killing creatures that don't deserve it. And that's a question I need answered, because until I met you and got dragged into all of this, one of my main missions in life were to exterminate all dyers. Every last one of them. And I did so with glee. But now I need to know if what I've been doing is right.
Well, Kaiser, I will say this. If at any point I turn and become blind to the dire part of myself, I will not bear any ill will to you in any other life for extinguishing mine. Because I certainly do not wish to do anything unnatural to the world.
I will admit that, yeah, I've got my personal grievances, but I've come to appreciate you as both a friend and an ally. I hope it doesn't come to that. Truly.
And I you, and I do not foresee it, but many unexpected things have been happening over the last week. So, we shall see where this journey takes us.
Here's to hoping we both get answers we're looking for.
The first half, your watch, ends, and the second watch will begin for Lena and Dream. Is there anything the two of you would like to talk about?
I have a couple questions. You said you used to own a jewelry shop. What exactly was it that made you leave that?
My bleeding heart, I guess. Seeing those demons just are, well, you see, demons had manifested in the jewelry shop when I was rescued, or when I was saved by Bellinor. I didn't even want to think of that happening to some other poor soul. Which led me to travel the road that I am now.
Huh. You know, you haven't really... I didn't have you pegged as a bleeding heart. I didn't.
I don't know if I should be offended or not.
Trust me, with where I grew up, don't be offended. There weren't a whole lot of bleeding hearts that stayed there very long.
I try not to talk about it very much. I much prefer to support people from the background. I mean, after all, there are those who would take advantage of someone like me. People who
Not
make it tough.
easily. Yeah, I had to learn that younger than I probably should have, but there's a lot of people out there for themselves.
Is that what led you to your line of work?
Nah, my mom pushed me into it.
Interesting.
Early into your watch, the both of you notice that snow begins to gently fall.
Oh, what the fuck is this shit? Lita, like, covers herself with her cloak.
It's almost like home.
Is it dangerous?
The snow? No,
Fuck is
not
snow?
that. Dream just raises his hands towards the sky. By themselves, snow isn't dangerous at all. It's when it accumulates. on the ground that, if you're not careful, could be dangerous.
The only white stuff that fell from the sky around me was ash.
Oh, goodness. No, this is just frozen water. You catch it in your palm and it melts.
And people like this stuff?
Some do, others don't. I imagine people like you would be more happier in more temperate climates. I, however, was raised in the snowy forests.
Yeah, I was raised near a jungle, so not a whole lot of this stuff in my childhood.
I believe that you're going to be seeing a lot of this in the near future. Gunnar's Pass is in the mountains, which means that it's going to be higher up, which means colder.
Great. I'm so excited.
At her saying, "Great, I'm so excited," the sun begins to rise, and your watch comes to a close when a sudden and alarming screech echoes out through the area. This screech is unlike anything you've heard before. It bounces back and forth between the trees, almost seeming to amplify the sound.
I'm looking up, Kaiser.
In fact, Kaiser and Maka are already woken up by this screech. It is that loud.
All you hear from Kaiser is he's staring awake as him gargling. Oh, what? Great Commodus teat, what is that?
I don't fucking know.
I would like a perception check from everybody based on vision. Maka, you can make based on sound.
I don't know if that gives me advantage or not.
Bollocks! I'm sorry.
I don't know if that gives me advantage or not.
Yes, it does. You have advantage on perception with sound and smell.
That didn't help me much. 14.
Okay. Lena?
16.
Okay. Kaiser?
8.
Dream?
8.
Lena, you're the one to notice this. You hear that screech once again, echoing through the valleys next to the mountains. And you look towards the direction you are hearing it from, the mountains themselves, as a winged beast launches itself over the top of the mountains. From this distance, you can very plainly see its icy white scales, its long tail, its slender body, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 wings. As it screeches out for a 3rd time, before unleashing a volley of icicles from its mouth down towards the ground.
Holy shit.
So where are we camping right now? Because I'm over here like, get the horse in the trees.
This is off in the distance.
I think we pulled off the road to hide, I want to say.
Yeah, because I remember telling the horse that like we will definitely be resting in the trees on the side of the road.
This creature swoops down to the ground out of your field of vision and you hear and feel the impact as it lands on the ground in the distance.
Hide? That's...
It's too far away. We don't have to worry about it.
What even is that?
I think it's a dragon.
That,
2 arms, 2.
I've heard tales. That's a dragon.
I mean, it was flying and it had 4 appendages, 2 wings and tail and spitting ice and shit.
The dragon screeches once more, as it is a dragon, followed by a roar that seems to deafen out even this beast. And this roar, you don't know why you're able to pick it up. It's louder than anything you've heard before, but this is the roar of a bear? There's no reason a bear should be louder than a dragon. And yet there it is, Maka. And that is where we end tonight's episode. So,
Some shit just went down.
something just went down.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be quite interesting to see what all of you decide to do with that. But that is going to do it for us for tonight. We are going to be back in 2 weeks' time, as we normally are, back here on the 22nd of July to continue the story and see what exactly is going on for sure. I am looking forward to getting this going and seeing exactly what ends up happening. But for now, thank you everybody for coming out. Very much so appreciate the return, and I hope you all enjoyed as well. We will have this posted up on YouTube within a week's time, closer towards the week. Not an exact day at this point. But we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we will see you all then. So,
Okay, everybody. Well, you take care until then. Stay safe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
that we will. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night, peeps.
Good
Have a good night.
Good night.
bitches.